Welcome back, everybody. At the last part, I was trying to get that open. How you do it? You gotta jump like that and hope to get lucky, basically. But now that we have that platform, jump on the platform, ride the platform. But there is a hidden chest. First off, you want to get.
Oh, that looks like it's on the. That one looks like it's the hidden one. Looks like it's on the ledge.
Yep, there's our frog coin. Yeah, it's like right there. So we got Coca-Cola. That one's okay. But now I said before, once I get 50
coins,
I am heading backward because I want that XP thing. Yes, or not the XP, the half. Yes, it takes away his Zoom shoes, which probably I shouldn't have bought another pair of Zoom shoes because I'm not going to use it anymore. But
still,
this is absolutely worth it.
Still, could anyone who plays RPGs blame you?
No.
No. No.
Hey, frog friend. Did you have a chance to accumulate any frog coins? Yes, I did. I want that damn frog ring.
It's like, what?
And we're gonna put on. So unfortunately, his defense and speed go down here, but I do not care because I want that. This coin trick gives you double coins if you are desperate for coins. I don't. And you actually have some pretty solid. This gives you a run from battle. You can use it as an item, so you don't have to worry about it, or you can start the battle over as many times as you want. It's actually pretty nice too, but I do never end up buying it. So if you're struggling with that game earlier times, maybe the way to go. Alright, so now we're going back to Land's End, and we're gonna go and do our thing.
So yeah, like picking up from the last slot was like with some of the tabletop like games where I have to sit down and read more and more of the flavor text and putting things together. Like I'm kind of interested with the fleet builds I've made so far, how they will play out.
Yeah.
Because I've got one. I showed you this one last night where one of them is with the Imperials for Star Wars Armada. Even though I know Star Wars Armada is not one of the most popular war games, which I get it. There's aspects to it I don't like. Now having played other variations of war games, but there's one special TIE Fighter squadron that, if it's in distance ones of other TIE Fighters that have swarm. Oh, you get to add one blue dice to their attack pool. So for regular TIE Fighters, that's 3 anti-fighter dice. Now that I've bumped it up to 4. So that TIE Interceptor squad that I showed you, that has swarm, that one has 4.
Nice.
It gets bumped up to 5.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, cannot. So like I look at that, it's like, so now in translations, like when I go to games or RPGs, now I'm actually looking at what synergy can I make that's just absolutely ridiculous.
By the way, we are fighting the artichoke.
Hey! We're fighting an artichoke.
It's called a Criffid.
A Criffid?
It has a lot of health.
Is that that's what it's called when it kills you? It's a Criffid?
That was awful.
Yeah, like the one magic deck I've got that's white-green because you haven't played it yet.
No. By the way, if you shoot out here, interesting little.
It's like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing.
He Wile E. Coyote that one. Like, I need to get back out.
You can't use these other cannons.
Aww.
They're only for the geckos.
Did he save you 15% on?
He didn't, bastard.
Your car insurance?
No.
Alright, I think it's okay to kill him.
I agree. There's a lot of these assholes.
But this also looks like a good grind spot, too.
It is. Because again, these guys do respawn when you go off screen.
It's a sleep sauce. So like, when you get humans out for that one card, you're putting +1/+1 counters. Then any other creature whose power is not equal to that creature, they can't block them.
Nice.
So effectively, like if I just build humans on top of humans on top of humans, including like getting human creature tokens out, I can have easily a 40-40 and just go, nope, you're out of the game. And what makes it even makes it even worse is that I've got 3 cards. I didn't realize it. That give all of my creatures hexproof.
Oh.
For people who don't know Magic the Gathering, hexproof is basically they cannot be target of any spells or any abilities. You have to take the cards out that give them that. So I have an enhancement that gives hexproof. I have a creature card that gives me, creatures I control, and other permanents I control hexproof. And I have one other one that gives my human creatures hexproof. Like, I'm running 3 hexproof cards.
Yeah.
In one single deck. It is ridiculous. Granted, I'm kind of curious to see how this dragon deck goes, because I'm building a Tiamat deck. So, for people who've played D&D, or those who haven't, like Tiamat's a 5-headed dragon. It has all 5, 1 head, 1 and neck for each of the 5 chromatic colors for dragons for D&D. So for Magic the Gathering, you can pull all 5 colors. You're thinking, oh great, that's fantastic. No, it's a nightmare. Because with the commander setup, and I've told you this, but more building for context of what I'm talking about, is with commander, unlike some of the other formats in Magic, almost every card besides what's on the official ban list, from the inception to Magic to the most recent set, I can use for commander. So that's 30 years worth of cards.
Yeah.
So some of these things can be really well balanced or so fast running on their own, even though they're 100 card decks, where it can work. But when you expand, and that's just only with 2 colors, but when you expand it to 5 colors, I got all 5 colors plus all colorless and all the basic land cards for 30 years available to me to now build a basically a 99 card deck with 1 commander. That is a task in and of itself. Yeah. And each color plays differently too. Like white has its aura enhancements and some hexproof. It has some control stuff. Dude, that animation, it reminds me of Wile E. Coyote. Like, I screwed up. I've got to get this fixed. So white's like that mix of control, that life gain a little bit. Green is getting creatures out, swelling them up with life gain, with some land fetch. Blue is basically your giant middle finger to the player. Counter spells.
Yep.
That's the best thing, but it does have some mana punish built into it, because you can't get it to where you tax someone for just doing actions in the game. One of my favorite cards of doing that is Propaganda. Every time you want to attack me, hey, pay 2 colorless mana for each creature that you want to attack me with.
Damn.
So I can effectively, if you've tapped yourself out, you can't attack me.
Yeah.
Red is in your face. It's got that aggression. It's got the instants and sorceries that does damage to creatures. Kind of like, you can play a micro game with it, and if you pair that with blue, and you can start making copies of those spells and new targets for them, it can pop off really crazy. Black is your necrotic. It's gonna basically one-shot creatures, one-shot planeswalkers. So you've got all this, but now you put all that together, like 5 colors, with a commander with a specific type, now make all that work in an effective synergy. For some decks, it's really easy to do. Others, no.
Good news, I'm killing him right away, so I don't have to get actually any points in there.
Gino's like, man, I just got stung in the ass.
That you did, Gino. That you did.
So like that, so looking at that stuff, that's part of the reason why when I look at the gears, like, yeah, I see the negatives, like, because the ideal is like, hey, I want to see blue all the way down, but if like kind of like what I said before, it's like if I'm going for a certain build style with a character, I'm going to try to optimize that build style. Dude, this Tiamat deck with what I've got in terms of land fetches and being able to go and search for dragon cards, your initial draw may suck, but how many times you reshuffle, or with how much you can actually go and fetch for lands, it is ridiculous. And the draw power is ridiculous too. If in theory I could get it to work the way I want it to work.
Right.
That's a big thing. I'm working a lot of theories right now, but with a 99 card deck, I think I ran the numbers for it. Like, usually I can run it right now.
Fuck! Quit missing. Oh fuck! He ran away, so I don't get the frog coin now.
So with 20 basic land times 10 there. I'm just running something, just give an idea, like perspective wise, like what's.
By the way, while he's doing that, this is a Skybridge. You can this can be a mini game if you want it to be, or you can just go over it like normal.
Plus, let's say 15 with that, plus another 15 of that, plus another.
You can get coins, or we're gonna do the special course because why not?
Let's say plus 20. No.
Damn it! I lost already. I forgot how you get into here. Oh yeah, by the way, grab that. That's a flower tab. Those are nice. I'm actually gonna use that right now.
So in a 99 card deck, and I ran the possibility of this, like, or the probability of this, your opening hand combination, depending, and it's not counting like for the full library, it's just what I throw, or like the full catalog of what's available in terms of Magic the Gathering. This is what I just put in the deck. Your your draw possibility or possible combos. If I don't count land types and everything else, but I could bump that up even further. You have 13,050,000 different possible combinations for your opening hand.
Jesus.
Just out of 99 cards. So I ran the number. So let me.
By the way, these Geckets will hit themselves or their own people sometimes, and that's kind of interesting.
So I'm gonna run this real quick because I thought about this. I'm like, man, this is. All right. So for people who are into statistics and want to know, like, if you want your perfect 7 card hand, just at that like 13,050,000. To have 7 divided by that number, the chances of your perfect hand is 5.36 times e to the -7.
Oh.
Yeah. You're not getting what you want.
Doesn't sound like it.
So like, when I look at all that, like, and I've started breaking it down, when I look at all that probability, it's now like, okay, probability sucks. I can't just look at that probability. Because I ran the numbers, like, now I've got to start thinking about how can I make the probability go into my favor. Try jump. He's flying. Or that.
It unlike other games where you can't hit it from on the ground, you can hit them from the ground. Just I am having just unbelievably bad luck with misses in this run through. If you guys been watching from the beginning, you've noticed that I've had some bad, just consistent misses. I did not have that in my playthrough. I had some, don't get me wrong, but there's a Gekka, he's hitting.
Well, that makes it feel like dice rolls.
Yeah, and that is fair. That is fair.
Granted, you have crap dice rolls anyways.
Yeah, I don't have good dice rolls.
Dude, playing D&D with you would probably be one of the funniest things, but I would feel bad for you. I would like, nope, throw that dice in jail. By the time we're done, we have a full dice set in jail.
Yeah, I mean, really, I can see that happening. But the good news is, like you said, that would...
I think he's right.
Yeah, that one confused me just a little bit, surprisingly. But yeah, I agree with you. I've never played D&D, but I could just... At least in D&D, it would make it interesting.
It would, but I kind of wonder how many times you would just... Like the equivalent of boxcarsing it in Warhammer, where you just hit a natural one.
Yeah.
Because if you hit like multiple natural ones in a row, I'm gonna start calling you Will Wheaton. For people who've watched or listened to Critical Role, Will Wheaton's dice rolls when he was a guest on the show for X amount of time were horrible. I don't think there was even dice rolls that... I could probably count on both of my hands, like, the number of dice rolls that were above a 10 on a 20-sided dice.
Jesus.
Like, the law of probability was definitely against him.
Sounds like it.
Wow. He's like, nope, I'm getting out of here.
Nope, the fuck out of there.
Like, going, like, to probability, like, that's what I like about, like, with Magic, is like, I know what my probability, or what the probabilities are. How do I make it to where it's no longer that?
Mm.
And I've been... But, and granted, there are times where it's just like, yeah, I get lucky and I get that stuff, but at the same time, there are times where it's like, the deck just bricks because it bricks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out, there was one deck that you played, my red-black vampires with blood tokens. That, I hate that thing bricks as hard as it does.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can get more, what's that, 18? Okay. I want to figure out how to stop that from bricking as hard as it does. If that means I would just put like an Eye of Vecna in there, or Phyrexian Arena at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and you draw a card. So effectively at the start of your turn, you draw 2 additional cards. Or with the booze.
The only way to get this chest... I just fucked up so bad.
Is that...
I gotta redo that whole fucking section. So, you have to go through that underground to get to that one chest. That's the only way you can get there, is by going to that underground that you saw earlier, and
not pulling a Chris.
And not pulling a me. Again, platforming and isometric. Not easy.
No, it's not. And
man. Pisses me off.
yeah, I've been looking at that, like maybe getting a Phyrexian Arena in there, because I think it's a relatively cheap mana cost enhancement. for people who don't know, like, this is the normal stuff, like, we talk about. Like, I throw theories out there in terms of, like, maybe, like, this could work. I don't know.
Unfortunately, I'm not a magic expert, so I can't give, like, great advice, obviously, on it.
No, I soundboard.
Soundboards off, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Because there are times where, like, yeah, so Phyrexian Arena. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. And it's only 3 mana. So, yeah, like, life-wise, you're losing, but if you've got vampires with lifelink, you can easily negate that. Or anything that you can just trigger mana ability for, like... I've been looking at that one because it'd be... It's that, or the Eye of Vecna.
Yeah. Bowser's level up very quickly. Might be taking Gino's spot so I can level up Gino a little bit faster.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, Phyrexian Arena is probably better because with the Eye of Vecna, when it enters a battlefield, you draw a card, you lose 2 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 2 colorless mana. If you do, you draw a card and you lose 2 life. Yeah, Phyrexian Arena is probably better. But granted, Eye of Vecna, it's only 2 colorless mana to get out onto the field. But it's just that initial upkeep.
Yeah. For anyone that just paid attention to what I did there, I am switching Bowser. I'm putting Bowser in. I forgot to do it. And I'm putting Gino out for now because I want Gino to get a bunch of XP.
He needs to level up! Yeah, I've been looking at like that.
Alright. Well, that will do it for this part. We'll talk more magic. We will start the next part in that one area that I fell off of, assuming I'll fall off again. I'm going to try and get to the chest this time offline, and I will hit the chest online. But, so join us then. Until then.
See ya!